Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, got my buddy Patrick here. He uses the Federer setup with a gut on the main and the ALU rough on the cross. But he's been looking for a more economical approach to his stringing since he strings 4 rackets every month. We're going to see what we can do, as it's been a few rounds now, but let's see what he likes though. Stay tuned. All right, Patrick.
Hey.
You've been using the Federer setup for as long as I think I've known you, right? Is it 3-4 years?
Yeah, close to 3 years. Yeah, close to 3 years
3
now.
years. And you've usually never swayed, never swayed away from that because you kind of like it. But you're looking for something a little more economical and something that gives you maybe a little more life and more feel and spin.
Right. I would say in this past year, I let you experiment with one racket.
Right.
And I either don't like it right off after 3 hits or not. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm always thinking of how to achieve more, right?
Right.
And everyone talks about getting more bite on the ball,
Right.
getting more spin. I don't need more power per se, but I want to keep control. And I feel like I love the control and the feel of the Champ's Choice Federer setup.
Right.
So, bring it to you and let's experiment and see what we can do. It doesn't bust my wallet.
Right. So
every month.
The gut, there's nothing that's going to feel better than the gut. So that was my first challenge. And Patrick started giving me 1 out of the 3 to experiment with first. And we started ramping it up a little bit more last month, where he gave me all 4 and said, have at it. Last month we did 20 gauge tour bite, full bed, 50. I think I did at 57 pounds when I remember, because your normal tension is 55, and I was like, this is thin, it's going to lose tension fast. We'll jack it up 2 pounds. What did you think of that tour bite 20?
That was surprisingly nice. I really liked that a lot. I was excited about it. And me, Mr. Non-String Breaker, broke
the string.
Like inside of maybe 6 hours.
Right.
It was just outside of maybe 2 matches. Yeah.
Right.
And I don't break strings.
At all.
In my Champ's Choice setup, I'll play for like 3 or 4 weeks and it still looks almost brand new.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, and then the other one I put tour bite 19 gauge at 55 pounds. How did that feel in comparison?
I like that. It took a little while for that to feel like it settled in.
Okay.
Like the TB20 right off, you just start playing it and it's great. This one felt stiff to me, very stiff, but then as it softened up, it gave me the good feedback.
Okay.
Like I'd be willing to play, as we joke about it, that'll be my rain racket.
Got
in
it.
the winter time, I'll go to that.
Tour by 19.
Yeah,
okay.
so that I don't have to deal with wet balls and gut.
Okay, so about 2-3 hours in, it felt good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Now the other 2 that I was messing around with, I wanted to stay in the Wilson family, so I did NXT 16 Comfort on the main, and then the ALU rough on the cross.
Yeah.
How did the NXT feel on the main?
Now, to me, that one felt really close. But see, again, like you were saying, like there's something rubbery about gut. And that little bit of feedback is what I seem to be missing from these setups.
Right.
But that did feel really nice.
Okay.
It did feel really nice. What I found, which was surprising, is, I don't play with the dampener. But when I actually tied a little rubber band at the bottom and kind of shored up the feeling,
right,
I felt it was way more playable to me in my hands.
Interesting.
Yeah. When I had it removed, it felt a little too, I guess, wobbly loose to me.
Okay.
Like I hit it and, it just it didn't feel, like one wheel's like a little wobbly. When I put the rubber band, it tightened it up everything felt a little more pure in my hands.
Interesting.
I had to get used to it, right? Because
Okay.
it's a different sound and feel, but I was okay with it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then the last one I believe I did NXT Comfort and then Confidential on the cross in the 16L.
Yep.
What did that feel like?
That was nice. And I
Okay.
think I like that. You know, I was surprising what I would say what's steering me to go, oh, this might be better than Champ's Choice.
Oh.
But it wasn't in the sense that, you know, the mains are still NXT.
Right.
Right. I think that's where you can't compare to the
Right.
gut.
That's true.
But I kind of like that Solinco on the cross. It was a little more firm, you know,
Right.
than the Alu.
Right.
Right. It had a little more firmer feeling. And I think because it's edged, I felt like I was biting the ball a little bit more.
Okay.
You know, I could feel that. So I was
Right.
kind of excited for that. And then maybe, okay, let's remove the NXT out of that.
Okay.
Maybe something right in that Solinco world.
Interesting. Okay, now we have our current 4.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's start with the hybrids first. I was struggling with what to put on the mains. My first thought was Technofiber NRG on the main, but I thought you had NXT already. Let's go with something softer and get it as close to gut as possible. So I went with Technofiber X1 Biphase 16 on the main, and then I did ALU rough on the cross. So that is kind of Technochamp's choice.
Yeah. Like I went and I put tape over the labels.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, we were saying, you said you only changed up one thing between these two.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in a second. But this one definitely, right out of the gate, I'm like, oh, this is the closest to Champ's Choice by far. And it makes sense why, because of the ALU.
Right.
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 Again, you're just missing that spring, that little bit of spring action when you
Interesting.
make contact. But this is very playable.
Got
And
it.
I liked it. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you know what?
So X1 16.
How much cheaper is this, though? If you're
Let
saying
me
we
think
took about
now.
pocketbook.
Maybe 10, 15 bucks.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
not bad.
It's not bad. But if you
That's not
times
bad.
it by 4, it's something.
Then it's sort of, yeah, you kind of might as well
It's a little something.
Yeah.
It's an extra string job here and there.
Is this easier to string than gut?
Not to me. It's about the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's
that
no
part
other-
of it. Yeah. And then the other one was we went X1 again, and then we went Solinco Confidential
Yeah.
here in 17.
Yeah. Now this was, like I was saying, comparing the two,
Mhm.
and then even feeling what Champ's Choice is, I kind of liked having the Solinco Confidential in the crosses.
Okay.
Just gave that little bit extra. It's not firm, it's not bite, it's just a little extra.
Predictability, as I call it.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I felt like I could control things a little more.
Right.
And I don't know if it's a mental thing because it's just that little extra feeling or what.
So you love the Confidential.
I
on
was
it.
really surprised having Confidential in the crosses. But
Okay.
as you can see,
Yeah,
just this
you
morning,
carved through it.
yeah, it really hacked through the strings heavily. And actually what I noticed was the cross strings moved a lot.
Huh.
You know, you can even see it's still
Yeah.
weird. So I was always constantly straightening those versus the mains, which, you know, I never thought about it.
So this
You know?
setup allowed you to, allowed the strings to move more freely.
I think so.
Interestingly. Huh.
So that's why I was actually wondering, what about
So we go Confidential on the cross,
with gut,
and
but
gut on the main would probably be a good.
but I'm really scared, is it going to just cut through the gut like a knife?
Well, we'll have to try it, right? Now, what I thought was that, like he said, go ahead and experiment, and the other full bed of poly or cold poly that I thought of was the Rabakana string, the Yonex Fire in the 16L. What did you think of the Fire?
Right off the first hit, I didn't want to let it go. It was really nice. Like I was like, oh, let's keep playing. And I wouldn't say how many hours, but I want to say inside of 10 hours, it felt like the tension just dropped heavily.
Okay.
And then I just start spraying everything.
So after 10 hours
Yeah.
of, okay.
And already I'm noticing, full bed of poly, I'm not used to the feel and stuff, so I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
But I'm noticing that, when I swing through something, I can't really tell if I hit it perfect or mishit it a little bit, and the ball just keeps going. So the feel's lost on me on here. But I did feel about 10 hours that this one definitely started spraying all over the place.
Got it.
Like it was almost literally between one swing to another swing. It just sounded like they loosened up like.
Yeah. No, the reason I thought about this string was it does have comfortable characteristics, and it does have kind of dampening characteristics, almost like gut. It lacks a little bit of sound, which I didn't particularly like, but this was, to me, like an addiction. I wanted not to like it, but it was interesting enough where I kept going back to it and wanting to play with it longer. So I'm guessing you had the same feeling for it.
I wanted to keep playing with it until it kind of died on me. And then I'm just like, okay, well, that might be more me, but maybe not. I think it's the strings. But it felt really, really good right out of the box.
Well, I guess it's semi on fire still. And then the final one is Coach Chris's string, which is Super Toro. It comes in only like a 1-2-3, 1-2-4 gauge, only one gauge. And I dropped the tension on the polys to 53. What did you think of the Super Toro?
This, again, this one, I was surprised at how well I hit it, but I couldn't tell how well I was hitting.
Oh.
It was really, the recipient of my ball was saying, hey, your ball is moving really well. Mm-hmm. And I am like, really? I can't tell. I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. And I'm missing that pop sound, But over time, I felt like I just couldn't control it exactly how I want. Like maybe this is too powerful for me or something. Right. Maybe this on the mains or something and crossed with something else to give me a little bit more control. I think that might be something to look at.
See, so that's the thing. When you go to a full bed of poly after using like something else on the main, like a gut or a multi or even a synthetic, there's more of a firmer feel to it and more of a muted feel. Your body has to kind of get used to how it's supposed to feel and how the feedback is to your hands, to your ears, to your wrist, and to your elbow. Because when I first started using a full bed of poly, it was literally, my description was my racket strings were like a fence, and it was literally just running into a fence, the ball. And it's like, well, I don't know what's going to go on. But gradually, it took years. Gradually, I kind of honed in on what it's supposed to sound like, what it's supposed to feel when I hit it properly. So I'm guessing that's where you're at with these.
I would consider myself very much a rookie when it comes to these full bed of polys.
So if you had to give a winning grade or deem a winner, what out of everything you've tried?
These four,
not these
or
four,
all
everything.
Across?
Yeah.
Man. Well, this one, this one definitely felt the closest to Champ's Choice.
So that's X1 and ALU rough, right?
And there's no question why. Of course it's going to be close. Same 1 out of 2 strings, right?
Right.
But I was really surprised at the playability of this, even though it's the same main. There's just something about adding that little bit of extra firmness that I really liked.
So X1 with a confidential 17 though, okay, 120.
Now, what makes it sneaky though is this guy, I felt like, again, it's the recipient's point of view. I'm shaping the ball well. I'm hitting good balls. Maybe this string mixed with something might be a magic thing. Like I said, this one felt really good, but the fact that it died so quick, to me, I don't. Again, I'd be spending more money because I'll be stringing this like every 6-7 days. Maybe.
Okay, if you had to go play a match tomorrow, and your option wasn't Champ's Choice, what would it be?
Is my options right here?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
If I had played, I can't use Champ's Choice tomorrow.
You can use the cross, not the gut.
I would tell you TV19. Give me one with TV19. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me that at 57.
Okay. Torvite
right?
19 at 57.
Wow, but see, I know it takes time to break in.
So just go TV 20. Take all 4
I
at
know.
TV 20.
I'm going to have to go TV 20 at maybe 55.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Go back to my 55 and I play that thing, even though I might snap it.
Yeah.
That's a tough choice right there because I know
maybe we combine the two. Go TV 20 on the main and TV 19 on the cross.
But do you think I would still break that? Because I broke
You
the
will,
mains,
but
right?
I mean, at least it might give you a good balance. Or you could flip flop and go TV 19 on the main and go TV 20 on the cross.
Well, I'm trying to think of why, I guess that's the question. Why did I break it? Of course, it's like,
Because you're probably hitting more spin.
hitting more spin, right?
Yeah.
Or trying to hit
It's
more
allowing
spin.
you to, probably.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? Yeah, if I had to play a match tomorrow, you're right. It'd be 4 rackets of TB 20.
TB 20. Torvite 20.
God.
Whoa.
I know I'm going to break them, though.
That's okay.
I guess I can look really cool.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. Like, all my question wasn't how fast you would break them.
Yeah.
My question was,
I mean, I guess I could look.
you
Yeah, I
choose?
could look pretty cool breaking strings during a match or something. But I'd have to go with that because I trust it.
Right.
Right.
There you go.
Definitely trust it.
There you go. See,
hands down.
Another person that says Torvite 20 plays like gut.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thank you for thank you for showing us the way and telling people that there is a poly out there that plays like gut and can play like gut. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do all 4 Torvite 20, guys. All right.
Feedback to come.
Thank you, bud.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Sky, great playing today, man.
Thanks. Good hitting.
Oh, thank you.
My arm doesn't feel right.
Uh-oh. Interesting. I got something. Hang on. See? I don't feel a thing.
Wow. My arm doesn't feel a thing. Feels great.
See? I told you.
All right, Harry. One more shot. I'm going to go real big.